Welcome everybody, welcome back to another video brought to you from the Tomb of Illumination. It's the only YouTube channel that will advise you on the true physics of this earth, where we are, where we've come from, and basically what the heck we're doing here. Now today's video is about understanding the Milky Way. It's not millions or billions of miles away. Understanding the flat earth system is understanding the meaning to life. This is a planned view of the flat earth. The southern hemisphere all the way around here, the tropical gap, and the northern hemisphere. Believe it or not. A lot of you have been following me or come to understand this by now, but those who think they live on the outside of a spinning ball, you're nothing but a lost soul, so you need to catch on to what we're talking about here. Now, you've got to understand the two hemispheres of our realm makes it a dual system. We have a cycle out here in the south and a cycle in the north. But it's all mirrored from the north. So it's all mirrored out from the north. But it's inverted. Then you've got to understand the toroidal field, how it works in and out. Inversion, expressed and inverted. So there's two cycles, and which means there's two motions of all the celestial bodies. So we'll have a Milky Way in the center northern hemisphere, and we'll have a Milky Way out in the southern hemisphere. Why do all the astrophotographers like coming to the southern hemisphere to film the Milky Way? Because it's bigger. It's expanded. It's expanded out from the center. That's our toroidal field. It expands out from the center. Look how big it is out here around the south. Look how small it is in the center. It's a no-brainer. So we've got to understand the two systems. And one is mirrored from the other. The southern hemisphere is mirrored from the north. So in the north, let's get rid of the sun and the lemmas in here. The magnetic field. You've got to understand the cycles in the northern hemisphere are like this. It's called the spiderweb in celestial navigation. All the stars are in this pattern. It goes into a golden ratio, a Fibonacci. But when it does a full cycle, it completes a cardioid over 24 hours, cardinoid. Okay? And it's mirrored out to the south. So every cycle that's occurring in here, there's a cycle out here. If it's over here, then the cycle's over here. If it's over here, then the cycle is over here. This is why every man after the 17th of October will have his image of the sun going around him in Antarctica, because the field has been expressed out. It's a phase shift where the sun is permanently out around the perimeter. That's the December solstice. So the sun is in many places, but only seen by one. Only seen in one. Man has only seen one image within his arc of horizon. Okay, but that's another story. We're talking about the Milky Way today. The Milky Way is the umbilical cord of creation. And where's creation? Creation comes from the center of the torus, the toroidal field. It comes out of the center. Okay? It's a recycling system, but it comes out like this. You can say it's on one of those magnetic field lines. It's still curved because the whole realm is toroidal. And the torus field comes from a central S curve. So out here we have your half the S curve. Look, it goes back in. It completes a figure eight. But the half cycle is the S curve. Okay? going the other way now. It goes this way. This is moving west. West, this is east. Okay. So as this turns all the time, it's sending an image out here all the time. Everybody in the southern hemisphere will see the same star cycle but slightly revolved. Okay. This is why someone in South America, someone in New Zealand, someone in Australia, and someone in South Africa can see the crux. Okay? Because the crux is all projected from the center here. But it's a lot bigger out here, like I've just told you, everything expands. So what is it back in the center here? Well, you've got something like this. Not that I've seen it lately, but you have the big and small dipper. You just don't draw these lines. Just draw the stars. And you come up with a cross. Okay? And there's the pointers. Okay? That's what the Southern Cross, you've got two crosses in the south. You've got the crux and the false cross. What do you have in the Northern Hemisphere? You have the Big Bear, Small Bear, or Ursa Major, blah blah blah, or the two teapots. Okay? That's what they are. So there you have the main Milky Way. Like I said, it's the umbilical cord to creation. Creation's back in the center, and we're out here in the created realm. So where this sort of finishes like this, it doesn't cross the tropics, is where we get the sun. Our image of the sun. Because the true plasma sun, unseen pure plasma sun, is back at this end of the Milky Way. So if the Milky Way is there like this, then opposite mirrored effect is the Milky Way coming around like this. So as this turns 360 degrees over 24 hours, this is turning. If you've got a fixed camera, this image in here will be shown in here fixed. But of course, because this is turning, this whole system's turning. So you can track this whole system that way, or if you want to fix your camera, you'll just see this shape, this pattern as this passes right around to the back and like that. You'll still get this cycle of the sun, of the Milky Way in the southern hemisphere. All the stars do this cycle because the stars are on that S curve as well. It comes out of the center north, like imagine it there like that, and gets bigger. There's curves. So if you look down through that way, you've got this golden ratio. That way up that way. And to complete the cycle goes like this. Okay? So, understanding the Milky Way goes from the tropical gap over into the Arctic center. Tropical gap, where we see the sun, where you don't really, well, it's another story. The sun's all projected off this toroidal field, crystalline structure of moisture, atmosphere, whatever. There's a sun everywhere, reflected off this first initial state of projection, because the real one's back in here on the horizon of the black hole. This is the Milky Way over to there. This is creation, and the S curve of creation is in here, inside the vortex that does the S motion, the cycle of all the stars and everything. The moon and the stars are in here, while the sun and planets are up on the flat plane above it. So there you have your northern hemisphere image coming out like this, but there's an image in the south that comes around and goes over towards the It's hard to draw it on this elevation, but it's like this. Okay? You've got to understand the mirroring effect. Milky Way into there, Milky Way out from there. This is the sun, the inverted mirrored image of the sun back in here. Okay? Or you could say that this sun, this is the image, is the image. So if it's an image, then it's the image of this. It's a reflection of this, because that's projected. It's a reflection, a parabolic mirror effect. Creates many suns, all set back to the man's pupils. Every man is within an arc of horizon, his own personal arc of horizon. 3 miles out, he stands in the centre, 3 miles. Okay, so 6 miles overall at sea level. All the celestial bodies are all passing over here to go out of his horizon. Comes into his horizon, over his horizon, out of his horizon. That's how man perceives everything. That's his dome of perspective. He just stands here right in the centre. That's how we get celestial navigation. You see everything. All the celestial bodies don't change sizes, do they? As they pass over, you can see it shaped this way. As it comes up here, it's shaped that way. And as it goes downhill, it's shaped that way. The picture of the moon tilts like this. Okay, 180 degrees from there to there. Okay, so this is the Milky Way. In science, we are told that we are from, or we are in the Milky Way. It doesn't say we're in the Milky Way. The truth is we are from the Milky Way. Because the Milky Way is creation. We are in the created realm now. So we can't be at creation and be created at the same time. So when the wise men point their fingers up like that, look up, it's a dual system. There's creation. It's a duality. So you're looking up where we came from. So you look at the Milky Way, we have come from in there. Science tells us we're in there. Sagittarius A is the black hole. And the black hole is where Earth is from. Right in the centre of the Milky Way. So there's the Milky Way. Let's draw the Milky Way. You can draw it as a bridge. You got a bit of a bulge here and a bulge here. Because the sun is in there. The sun here. Because the Milky Way, there's 2 ends to it. There's one end going down there and the other end comes over here. And we see it like this in each hemisphere. We'll see the duality in each hemisphere. You see the whole system at night. And we are from here. There's the black hole is in here. The sun's here. And the black hole is here. All we see at night is the Gargantian, the white cloud on the background, which is the daylight side. So we're from that black hole. Earth is that black hole. So this is showing us creation where we are from. That's why I look up. But we're out in our created realm, so we can't be in it. We've come from it. But everything goes back into it. So we're still connected to it. This is the spiritual side of man. His religious side, he has to find his way back. We're cast out into this physical realm, but you spiritually, psychologically, you have to find your way back to complete yourself, to make you a whole man. And this is the meaning to life. If you do not find your way back, you stay reincarnating cycle after cycle after cycle until you wake the heck up. Okay? To get to the Father, you go through me, which is going through the Milky Way, going through the fire, or going through the sun. It's all a spiritual. It's on the other side of your life. It's just the sleep side, night time. So it's not a good idea to be working a night shift all your life, because you're going to miss out. you would have wasted your entire life. You have to be asleep to gain your, what they call rebirth. It's a spiritual rebirth when you do find your way back. It's a state of balance, psychological balance, heart and mind, and you're asleep when it happens. But if you're working at night, let's namely 3 o'clock in the morning, you're never going to go through this process. So I understand the Milky Way, you know it now. It comes out of the centre Arctic over to the tropical gap. It's where it's the umbilical cord of creation, and there's two ways to look at it. Coming out of creation, created our realm, or look at our realm, understand how our realm works, feeding back into creation. So you could say the sun is created between the two fields, magnetic induction, right there, and gets sucked back up to the Milky Way to feed the pure plasma sun. But at the same time, that image is only there due to the pure plasma sun, because you've got to understand the difference between creation and the created. We are from creation in the created realm, but then you can think our created realm is feeding creation, so they both feed each other. There's always this dual system going on anyway. Okay, it's understanding creation from the created. So so you don't live on a tilting, spinning ball. It's flat with the cycle going on. This is turning from the central vortex. As that turns, the S-curve motion of everything in there casts images out in the south that move all the way around the southern hemisphere. The Milky Way is a vacuum cleaner. It's part of our recycling system. All the winds blow everything to the tropics. The magnetic fields are curving into the tropics. That's why the magnetic field is in the wind. The Egyptians told us that. And it all gets drawn up into the tropics to get drawn up, purified. Everything gets purified through the tropical gap via the vacuum back into the pure plasma sun. Nothing unholy comes out of the Milky Way at this end. The mist that gets dropped into the centre Arctic, purified hydrogenated water. All the gases that leave Earth end up in the tropical gap and eventually go through the Milky Way for reprocessing, recycling, purification, while all the crap falls to Earth and condenses down through the Earth. 7 layers of compaction, 7 layers of gaseous expansion, where everything gets shredded, reconforms into their selective inert gases, you could say, as they progress up through the atmosphere or beyond to be sucked through the Milky Way. Only the purest of gases get sucked through the Milky Way into the sun. The gas has all been shredded all the way up through ionization, lightning, etc., to be drawn into the Milky Way through the sun, via the sun, through that sun, because the black hole is there. So imagine the Milky Way as a vacuum pipe, and the vacuum pipe is a stretched out black hole. That is the vacuum pipe. Space, they say space is a vacuum because everything is just expanding to shreds, to be shredded. So the pressure is being released into nothing. Because being released into nothing, they say it's a vacuum, it goes into nothing, vacuum, a vacuum of space. But there is no real space. It's just the molecules being shredded before they get sucked up through the vacuum cleaner, the Milky Way, to be purified via the pure plasma sun hidden in the center here. Okay? and that all the mist comes down, mist into the Arctic centre, to be drawn through under the earth, flows under the earth. And some of it builds up a kinetic energy or high pressure, and this is low pressure between the tropics, and it'll rise up through here. So you could say a lot of crap's, all the crap's fallen down through the earth, gone into here maybe, and it built up the high pressure, and it gets released back up through here to get re-purified. But you're not wanting all this crap to contaminate this pure water in here, so there must be separate channels for it or something. But it does build up a high pressure and energy system that wants to be released via the low pressure, which gets it drawn up through the tropics, helps the whole recycling system. Okay, so the Milky Way is in many places, just like the sun is in the southern hemisphere. Everybody in the south gets their image of the Milky Way coming around at night. It's his. Always remember, the sun, projection of the sun is in the Milky Way. That's where the sun is housed. That's why the ancient Egyptians call it the solar boat. The Milky Way is the solar boat. Moves across the sky at night to be reborn every morning. Okay. Any questions? Just jump on board and feel free. Or, join my Patreon would be good. Anything else? This is actually the rakia. Understand the difference between the firmament and the rakia. All the ancient pictures show this here because this concerns creation. Earth is like this. It's a dual system. You've got to draw it properly. A lot of people don't understand. They think that's the dome over the flat Earth system. Well, it's not right. You should have all realised this by after the trip to Antarctica. It's not a single system like this. This is a dual system, but this arc is over every man. It's all about the meaning to life. That's his zenith. Okay? And this breaks down to the two Milky Ways on each side of each hemisphere. You can say this is the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere. There's a period in the year where they align. And they form this bridging. That's what all of religion is all about. This divine bridging, where the two Milky Ways come around and marry up. It's crossing the Red Sea, where they cross the sea here. The two are meeting. It's all spiritual. Rakia, okay? It's all about the Milky Way, the Rakia. It's not the arch over the dome over Earth. Okay? It's a firm set of stars that passes through the night sky. And it's slightly quicker than the background stars because the sun's in it. The sun moves 15 degrees per hour, 4 minutes a day quicker than the stars. Now you're not taught that, but trust me, I know what I'm talking about. The sun is 4 minutes quicker than the stars. Check out a lot of my earlier videos. Okay? So I think that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to put a likes up and share this video to all your flat earth friends. If you know any globies who really think they live on a spinning ball, take a wide berth around them because they're a bit easily led, easily fooled. Still got a lot of lifetimes to go before they awaken up their mind. They're lost souls at this present time. Okay? Bear that in mind. Thanks for watching.